to Good Morning Vail. Joining me now is Peter Suneson with Walking Mountains. How are you doing today, Peter?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me.
So we had a mountain lion attack in Aspen recently. If you don't know the story, there was a child attacked by a mountain lion, and the mother came out of the house, saved the child, attacked the mountain lion back, and the kid was able to get away.
Exactly, and so that kind of spurred, my thought. Let's talk about some of these animals that we have, roaming the hills out here, and really what is their prey. We hear about these sensational mountain lion attacks looking after kids. Mountain lions are generally not interested in eating children, looking at people as prey. So what I did is I brought in a skull, and this is a mountain lion skull. And the kind of really neat thing about this mountain lion skull is that if you look at those front two teeth, those two large canine teeth, those are spaced pretty much the exact distance of an adult white-tailed deer or adult mule deer's vertebrae. So this animal, this mountain lion, has adapted really to eat mule deer. Those teeth are pretty much a clamp on that vertebrae to end the life of a deer just like that. If you flip it over, you can see some, no molars, just canines and incisors, pretty much solely for tearing up meat. So this is an animal that, it does eat meat. It is a predator. However, it is adapted for deers.
It seems smaller than I anticipated. I expected it to be large and
exactly for
more
such
intimidating.
a large animal. Very, very small skull. Most of their energy, most of their masses in their muscles, and they're pretty much a weapon looking for food. So that is kind of how they've evolved, as opposed to a bear, another animal that we hear a lot about, interacting with people, and there's that kind of myth that bears are scared, bears are ultimate carnivores. If you look at their teeth, they do have these sharp canines again for ripping and tearing meat, but they've also got these molars back there, which are more what we have for grinding up plants and different twigs. So for the most part, bears, 60 to 80% of their diet are plants. They do eat meat, but generally it's dead meat, insects, something like that. They are not going to be looking at us as prey to go eat and catch.
And now we don't have grizzlies in Colorado, correct?
Exactly. And so that's, another kind of thing to be aware of. We only have black bear, regardless of the color. They can be blonde, they can be brown, they can be black. They're all black bears, and they are significantly less of a threat than a giant grizzly bear that you would have in Idaho, Montana, Alaska. So again, we need to be aware of them. We don't want to interact with them on purpose, but if we see them in the wild, it's something, we want to keep our distance, but we don't need to
be too afraid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a great thing to see out there.
Now, what would you do if you came across a mountain lion or a bear? How would you react if you're on a hike with your family or something like that?
Great question. So if you see wildlife in the distance, it's on a mountainside, or it's not going to be looking at you, it's not coming at you, you're going to take your pictures, you're going to go about your business. If you want to keep walking in its direction, you're going to want to start making lots of noise so you don't scare that animal. You want to let it know that you are there, you're going on the hike. If you see an animal coming down the trail at you where you are going to bump paths or you are going to cross paths, that's when you're going to circle up with your group. You're going to pull your shirt over your head and you're going to get loud and crazy. You're going to scare that animal more than that animal is scaring you.
And now when you come across a moose, because this is what this is a moose.
Yep. Moose, so again, just molars. They are reversed. They're not going to be eating meat, but like you mentioned, a moose is a big animal. It's pretty much like an SUV with a brain. So again, another thing we don't want to run into on the trail, but if you do, the secret to avoiding negative moose interactions is they don't move side to side very well. So if you find a tree with a girth, you can play Ring Around the Rosie with a moose and it'll never be able to get you.
Definitely steer clear of all of the animals pretty much. You want to be as safe as you can, but make noise while you are out there on the hiking trails. I do that often as well. Coming up, we're going to be checking in with Ken Hovey and the weather. It's going to be a beautiful one today.